Welcome to Route 113. First of all, hi Brendan. Phew. It took a long time to make it this far. Even I felt like I needed a little break. Looks like your team could use one too, Aura. Actually, I just got 2 full heals, but whatever, man. Sure. There, that's them sorted. I'm on my way to meet this Professor Cosmo fellow, right? He's super famous for his research on meteorites. He even worked with my dad, with Professor Birch, on finding out if meteorites could have any effect on Pokémon. Okay, time to get moving again. I think Fall Arbor's pretty close now. Let's both give it one last push. I forgot Brendan was going to do that because he doesn't do that in the original Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, so one sec. Route 113, first of all, listen to this music! It's pretty universally agreed on that this is the best route theme in this game, and I've heard some people complain that the metronome in the background is distracting and ruins the song in this particular remake. I think they are out of their minds. This song is incredible. Route 113's music was already the best song in the original games, and they only made it better here, so yeah. Is this a Ninja Boy? No, okay. There are Ninja Boys on this route, so I'm just looking forward to encountering them. We keep finding Skarmory as their, pop-up encounters, which Skarmory is a pretty rare Pokemon on this route, so I'll take it. That's pretty good. Yeah. We're going to try to make it about halfway through the route before we go over the Pokemon, just because there's something I should go over first. I have it written much later in my notes than the actual Pokemon on this route, but I realized while I was writing my notes that it would probably be better to, actually get through this route before going through the Pokemon, just because there's something we can get at the very end, and, well, not the very end, probably the midway point of the route, but I want to get that before I actually go over the Pokemon, just so I can go over everything about it, and then we can just have all the time we need for the Pokemon, because we're going to need some time for the Pokemon, trust me. Although, I say that like it's going to be as long as the bios in the last video, when no, it's not going to be 6.5 minutes of bios, don't worry. Anyway, this is our first Ninja Boy. They tend to use Poison-type Pokemon that explode especially, but that's just as a coincidence of them using Coughing because of their smoke. This kid admits to defeat. I think it's funny that throughout the years, there have been a few ninjas, specifically Koga and Maylene in the Kanto region, but even in their gym, all the trainers that are around them are like flamethrowers or jugglers, and then specifically in the Hoenn and Sinnoh regions, there are ninja boys, but there are no older ninja. Koga is the only adult ninja in the series, which makes me think perhaps he was a ninja boy who, is playing ninja and then just never grew out of it, which is much funnier than him actually being part of a ninja clan, because it means he got his daughter into it too. I don't know. That's just a stupid headcanon that I have, but it's very funny to me, and I just wanted to share it here because I didn't know when else I was going to get a chance, because Ninja Boys don't appear in any game where Koga and Janine appear, which is another very funny thing. But yeah, I just completely missed that TM. Sorry, Skarmory, I'll get to you, I promise. I keep accidentally jumping off this ledge. Why is it jumpable? Hi, Spinda. Spinda's a good Pokemon too. We'll go over it, I promise. TM32 Double Team. Okay. That increases evasion by 1 stage. I think evasion strats are a little cheap, so I'm not going to be using them myself, but that is something you can do if you want. I will teach Secret Power real quick to Zugzagoon, because as I said in the last video, I am going to be keeping an eye out for any spots that I think look better for secret bases. So I guess if the QR code for my secret base didn't work in the last video, it's because I ended up liking this one. I don't know, we'll see. Typically, the way secret base layouts work is the farther they are from any sort of town, the better they're going to be. So bigger, more levels, that sort of thing. Yeah. This isn't as good as the one that we started with. It's a little too long and not fat. I don't know what the word I was looking for was there, so I just went with fat, but you know what I mean. There's not enough space horizontally as there is vertically. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. Well, there are new encounters, there's trainers to fight. Let's just start going over them because it might be a while. Sandshrew is about as generic as ground types come. For a long time, it'll be stuck with Magnitude outside of TMs as a stab move, and the only really better moves it learns through level up are Dig and Earthquake. It can also use Swords Dance or Hone Claws to increase its attacking power, and Rock and Fighting moves for coverage. Okay, that's not entirely fair. Sandshrew evolves at only level 22 into Sandslash, whose defense and attack are respectable, and it does get Poison Jab and X-Scissor as coverage via TM to make its moveset a little bit more varied than it would have been back in the day. If you're able to get it in a Sandstorm, it'll even outspeed basically everything that exists if you have Sand Rush as an ability. It's a good Pokemon, just not one that's particularly memorable. Sorry, Annabelle, I felt bad saying that. Spinda! I think it's really cute that all of its stats are 60, so they add up to 360. Also, you definitely already know that there are 4,294,967,296 possible patterns for Spinda, and that some of them are identical, and that some of them are impossible to obtain in certain games, so the answer is actually far less, but still in the billions. Notice how I have almost nothing to say about how Spinda actually plays? Its stats are bad, and it doesn't evolve, so all you can really hope for is to get Fake Out as an egg move, use Teeter Dance to confuse enemies, and then use its even stat distribution and normal type move pool to use basically whatever you like on it. It won't blow you away or anything, but hey, it's cute, and there's something to love about the Spinda you catch being somewhat unique to you. I like it, even if it's not the best. Skarmory can be many things. There's a lot of egg moves to choose from. Brave Bird or Drill Peck give it a strong flying type attack that it otherwise lacks to pair with Swords Dance and its other powerful physical options. Alternatively, Stealth Rock can be paired with the move Spikes to allow it to set up entry hazards. You can even breed it with another Skarmory knowing Whirlwind to allow it to force foes to switch out into those entry hazards. Sturdy allows it to switch into most foes and survive, then outspeed a surprising number of them with its reasonable speed, while Weak Armor can be used to turn it into a speedy monster when paired with Swords Dance and its naturally incredible defense. I genuinely argue this is the first and, in this generation, only Pokemon to be a good user of Weak Armor. The choice of how to use it is yours. No matter how, Skarmory is an incredible Pokemon worthy of that annoyingly low catch rate. The way registering Spinda in the Pokédex works has always been a little interesting. I believe this is the last game where the pattern you actually catch is going to be the first one in the Pokédex, because Generation 7 started using, like, still images of Pokemon for their Pokédex entries. But in the original Ruby and Sapphire, the way it worked was odd because it would depend on your trainer ID or something, meaning it would be possible to get a shiny Spinda specifically in its Pokédex entry and nowhere else. And that's very funny to me. If I was making a Let's Play of the original Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, which, mark my words, post-reboot, I never will. I just don't like Pokemon Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. I've given them so many chances, and they've just always been a little disappointing. The Let's Play was fine back in the day, but that was before I put research into everything you can do in Let's Plays, and there's just stuff I don't like in Generation 3, especially in the post-game, and I tell people that, and then they'll kill me, so it's easier to just play the version of Hoenn that I actually like. Anyway, this Spinda has broken out of 3 Ultra Balls. I don't know if I can weaken this thing. Zugzagoon is going to be my best bet. I'm not using Spinda on my team or anything. Don't think I am, but I encountered my first one. Of course I want to catch it because that pattern is mine. Let's hit it with Secret Power. Let's see what that becomes here. Vine Whip? That puts it to sleep? Okay, that'll make it easier to catch at least. Maybe Zugzagoon knows what he's doing. Maybe he was taking lessons when we had what's-her-face on the team, the Poochyena, whose name I forgot. We can also use Nest Balls here. It's below level 30, so maybe. Although it's not lower level than Zugzagoon, so. Sure, I'll take it. That works for me. Spinda was caught. And Zugzagoon got a level out of it. That's always good. The Spot Panda Pokemon. Oh, nope. Well, you can see the pattern I caught on the top screen, but then the bottom screen has the default pattern, which has spots in the perfect positions, and I absolutely love it. All the Spinda that exist in the world are said to have utterly unique spot patterns. The shaky, tottering steps of this Pokemon give it the appearance of dancing. I love Spinda. He's such a good Pokemon. I wish he was better, because I absolutely would use it on a team. And you know what? I might keep him in the gang just because he's funny. He's the drunk friend that everybody needs. Which is none, in my opinion, but, you know, that's fine. I have friends who drink. I don't enjoy being around drunk people, really, generally. Did this girl say Fairy-type Pokemon are highly flammable? Okay, Franny. Whatever you say. Why is your Curlia flammable? I'm gonna do the meanest thing I could possibly do with this information, too. Like, you shouldn't have told me that because I sent out a Pokemon that can explode immediately. Oh yeah, lucky chant. At least my explosion won't be a critical hit. Here you go, flammable ballerina. That sounds like an Xbox Live gamer tag. Sorry, Slate. It was just too funny. I got completely burned up. The explosion would hurt the trainers, too. That's something I've always wondered, is, like, how do the trainers avoid that? Did she say how can we make them get along with fire type? She's talking like Fairy is weak to fire, which it's not. Zugzagoon was holding a Repel. Always good to get more of those. Is there anything else over here? Doesn't look like it. Although, I know there are hidden items, so I should probably have the dowsing machine on while I'm on this route. Oh, there's something up there, but I can't go back up that ledge, so I need to restart the route. Oh, I should spray a Repel. I always, like, buy Repels, and then I never use them because I feel like, oh, there'll be a better time. And there is never a better time to use a Repel than when you think you should be using a Repel. I'll catch Sandshrew and stuff later. And that's like a guarantee on this route. I love being on this route. And also, I am going to be encountering so many wild Pokemon on this route. I guarantee it. So, no harm in using a Super Repel for the first little bit while I'm here. Where... Okay, right here. An Ether. That's an okay enough item, I guess. Where is the other? I know there's at least 2 hidden items on this route, so I'm going to be keeping an eye out for the second one as well. However, at this part of this route... Hold on. The hidden item is around here somewhere. Right here. A Nugget! Nice! Why is that there? I guess it was in a soot pile. I just ran through it. When you run through a soot pile, it disappears, so yeah. Anyway, this building that we walked past like 4 times, the Glass Workshop turns volcanic ash into glass items. Hello. We always speak to the child first. It's fun to blow my glass flute in time for my boss's nattering. Plink, plink. Is that the sound a flute makes? Hello. This area is covered in volcanic ash. Plink, plink. I'm specially gifted. Plink, plink. I'm autistic too, I get it. I make glass out of volcanic ash and then use the glass to make items. Plink, plink. Go collect ash with this. Plink, plink. The Soot Sack. Using the Soot Sack, we can collect ash by running through the dark piles all over the route. Just take the Soot Sack and walk through piles of volcanic ash. Plink, plink. It will fill up with volcanic ash. Plink, plink. Once you think you've collected a good amount, come and find me. Plink, plink. As he said... There is somebody named I Ass Munch on the Buzznev right now. Good for them. I'm glad they're happy with it at least. So we're just going to run through these piles of volcanic ash as we go along this route. And there's probably somewhere between 6 and 10 of these on the route, so yeah. You can't run through tall grass to get soot. I'm pretty sure you could in Generation 3. Unfortunately, that is just not how it works in this particular generation. But running through these soot piles is going to collect soot within the soot sack, which is good. The amount you get is going to be random. It can be 3 to 4 grams of ash, and in certain locations there will also be items. You can get a random amount from 5 to 15 grams, a random amount from 20 to 100, and in certain locations there will just be trainers that challenge you and no ash. Those soot piles with the trainers disappear once you beat the trainers as far as I know, so that's pretty good. Not enough ash here. I can't make any glass items. If you have 170 more grams, I can make a blue flute. Okay, so we can go into our key items pocket, and we can't check the soot sack. For some reason, I thought you could just check, but we need 170 more grams. That means we have 60, I think? No, that's undershooting it. We have 80? One sec. Yep, we have 80. You need to do math to actually calculate how much you have, I guess. Yeah, so the things you can get for this, if you have 250 grams of ash, you can get a blue flute. This is an infinite use awakening, basically. It wakes sleeping Pokemon, and even though it's in the items pocket, it never gets used up no matter how many times you use it. You can get the yellow flute for 500, which snaps Pokemon out of confusion and is infinite use as well. The red flute for 500 as well. It snaps Pokemon out of infatuation and is infinite use. This one is definitely the most niche and least useful ever. The white flute for 1,000 grams decreases the level of all wild Pokemon on the route by 1 to 4 levels, and this lasts until you leave an area. The black flute does the opposite, increasing the level of wild Pokemon by 1 to 4 levels. For 6,000 grams, you can get the Elegant Chair, which is a secret base decoration, and for 8,000, you can get the Elegant Desk, which is another secret base decoration. Overall, the flutes aren't all that useful, with the Dex Nav easily replacing the black and white flutes, and the other ones being incredibly niche, especially with the amount of full heals you already have from pickup Zigzagoons, but the Elegant Chair and Desk are symbols that you have spent way too much time on Route 113, which I am probably going to do, but not on screen. I figured it was worth getting this before we start doing the main thing I'm going to be doing on this route, though. Because you see, there is a Pokemon I want to use on my team on Route 113, and some of you probably have already picked up on what that Pokemon is. It's not Spinda. I wish. I wish I was cool enough to want to use Spinda. We are going to start by using Sweet Scent with... Unfortunately, not what I'm looking for. The horde I'm looking for only has a 5% chance of appearing, and based on that alone, you probably know what the Pokemon is, so I'm going to cut to the chase and say Skarmory is going to be the next member of my team. I am going to be searching for Skarmory hordes to get the search level up. It's a really low chance for them to appear, but we basically have unlimited honey, so yeah, I can just dunk on all these Spinda hordes to get experience and get the search level up for Skarmory that way. Skarmory is also not a particularly rare Pokemon to appear just as a silhouette, so I'll encounter any that I find that way as well, but this is the main reason I have in the party right now, so yeah. Since all of Spinda's stats are even, I actually don't know what EVs they give out. That might be something interesting to look into. I'm going to do that right now. Spinda gives 1 special attack EV. It feels like it should give more, but I guess not. That means this is actually pretty terrible for Slate, all things considered, but whatever. That's like 5 special attack EVs. We're going to be getting berries eventually that lower a specific EV, so we can just use those, and yeah, it's fine. Slate just grew to level 30. This is only the 4th horde. I'm realizing this might be a really good way to gain levels if you want to, I guess. Stealth Rock is what Slate is learning. This is an entry hazard, so you lay it out and it hurts opposing Pokemon more based on their type. For Charizard, for example, since it's a 4 times weakness, it just takes half of its health right away. It's a little niche for Slate. I don't think I'm gonna go for it. One thing that is worth noting is encountering hordes like this is a good way of doing shiny hunting. Since every Pokemon in the horde is rolled separately, basically you, like, have 5 times the chance of finding one as normal. It's pretty good, but ultimately, not really what I'm doing here. I'm not looking for a shiny, so if I find one, cool. Spinda is not a Pokemon I will use on my team, even if I find it as a shiny. Although, we'll see. Because things change. I would have said the same thing about Vanillite, and I ended up really liking Strawberry as a team member. I've realized really quickly that at the rate I'm encountering just Spinda, it would genuinely just be faster to find Skarmory normally, and I have no reason to be doing this. There is an ability I want on Skarmory, there are moves that I would like to have on Skarmory. All of that is reason to just actually go out of my way to look for Skarmory the good old-fashioned way, so that is what I'm going to do. Speak of the devil, there was a Skarmory, and of course I scared it off immediately. We'll sneak our way over to it. This is our first one, which is all we need to be able to start using the Dex Nav to find them. The real worry here is just going to be catching it. We ran out of Ultra Balls on that Spinda because I wasn't really thinking about it, and Skarmory has a really low catch rate, so I'll do my absolute best here. This one at least can't have weak armor, so I might be able to damage it. Maybe? Please don't die. Okay, we're fine. That was a crit, too. Jeez, you're seeing just how damn high Skarmory's defense stat is. We can't really afford to weaken it all that much more, so I guess Nest Ball? This isn't going to be our team member or anything. This is just so we can use the Dex Nav. Yeah, this definitely isn't our team member, because believe it or not, I actually know exactly what Pokeball I want to use to catch our, Skarmory that I'm using as a team member. I only have a few of them, so hopefully it'll work out, but hey, we caught our first one. That's pretty good. It's going to be sent to the gang, which is probably unfortunate. Whatever. Fall Arbor is, right next to us. We can get there if we need to manage our PC, but for now, just gonna start catching as many Skarmory as I can, and I'll cut ahead because this is going to take a billion years. So, my main goal here is I want to find a Skarmory who knows either Drill Peck, Brave Bird, or Stealth Rock. And my thinking is what I want to do with Skarmory is going to depend solely on its ability and its stats. I'm thinking if I get a Skarmory with weak armor, I'm going to want to go all in with making it a, speedy offensive beast. And, yeah, if I find one with Stealth Rock that I happen to like that has an ability that I think is good, which would be Sturdy or Keen Eye for that, then I'll go for entry hazards and using Whirlwind or Roar or something to make opponents switch out and just deal damage that way. I think ultimately weak armor is the one I want to go with. I think it would be infinitely more interesting as a team member that way. Just because entry hazard Skarmory is a very competitive Pokemon, not really the sort of thing you generally see in a single player playthrough, and I think it would be a little underwhelming, just as far as Skarmory would go as a team member. I feel like it would make Skarmory a little forgettable, and it's not what I want for any of my team members, really. But if I got one with Stealth Rock, hey, you know me. I played VGC back in the day. Oh, Whirlwind, look at that. That would be really good if it also had Stealth Rock. Maybe if I find a second one of the opposite gender that does have Stealth Rock, I could breed to get one, though, and that would be interesting. I was thinking that, I wanted to breed for a team member, but I just didn't know what I would want to do with that, and, what Pokemon I would want to do, especially because egg moves are so easily obtainable in the wild anyway, and you can get good IVs that way. So, ultimately, that just didn't end up coming through in my plans for my team, but hey, maybe this will be the one where, okay, I have the means, I may as well breed for a Skarmory using, what I actually want. I am going to catch this one, just in case that ends up being what I go for. I probably should have looked at what gender this one was before I threw that. God! I really want to catch Skarmory or Repeat Ball if I can. This should work. The issue is Skarmory's catch rate is just so low. It's literally 25 out of 255, so, like, pretty goddamn low, all things considered. I don't have that many Pokeballs. I might need to go to Rustboro City to buy more, which is a hell of a trip from Route 113, so I'm really hoping this one will work, and then I will not miss with my next Repeat Ball on the... Okay, great! I have to go back to Rustboro City. Thanks, man. Yeah, and you also break out of my last one just to add insult to injury. I get it, jerk. Okay. Finally caught it, Jesus. Okay, I'm going all the way back to Rustboro City to get more Repeat Balls. Jesus. Rode all the way back to Rustboro City. Okay. I can buy a lot. Do I want to spend all my money on Repeat? I'm gonna buy 30. Which is a lot. At least we got a Premier Ball out of it. I'll also sell my selling items while I'm here. Whatever ones I have, which might not be any, honestly. Okay, we have a nugget. X items, I literally have a rule against using items in battle. I may as well just sell them when I come across them, so sure. Those are effectively selling items to me. Okay, I at least have the right tool for the job of catching Skarmory now. So that's good. Going to start using regular repels, even though I just bought a bunch of super repels. May as well go through these ones first. Is that Skarmory? Looks like a Skarmory, but I don't know what silhouettes every Pokemon uses. It looks like it is. Okay. Knowing Sand Attack. With no stars of potential. Yay. I will say, ultimately, if I find a Skarmory with Drill Peck, it's probably the one I'm going with, regardless of its ability. I really, really want to use Weak Armor, though. Skarmory is like the one Pokemon I think is good at using Weak Armor. It's such a rarity. I'd honestly be fine going without Drill Peck for it. That is how much I want to use it. So, it is just a matter of if I find the one I want. Basically, we're looking for Shroomish with Bullet Seed again. And its hidden ability. Yeah, Skarmory seems to be really common when you're actually searching like this. It has Stealth Rock. If this is female, we might have our Skarmory in the future through an egg. Are you? Honestly, even if it's not. It is! Nice! Okay, I guess I gotta catch this then. Mach Punch. Okay, not a one-shot. Good, just barely. You know how to hold back, Puff, and I really appreciate that. Okay, we are going to throw some Repeat Balls, and then I guess I'm going all the way back to the daycare again. All right, first ball. I will take it after the nightmare the last one put me through. Kind person, since I named the last one Jerk. We need a one-word equivalent to the word nice person. Similar to jerk. I guess Jag? Sorry. Finally! That was like the third encounter. The past 3 times I've come through here, I haven't seen a single Slugma. Jesus. It's like the world's most elaborate Slugma Balls joke. I'm gonna name Slugma Foster. She'll be like a foster mother to the eggs of various Pokemon that have eggs throughout the Let's Play. I could have worded that better, but you know what I mean. Want to get a look at Jerk and Kind Person first. Jerk is minus special attack plus speed. That's actually really solid. And Kind Person is plus attack minus speed. Jerk definitely has the better nature. Oh, Kind Person's also holding a metal coat. That increases the power of steel-type moves by 20%. I'll take that. Of the two, I'd like to pass down that jolly nature. Can't believe I caught Jerk in a Pokeball. What a jerk. Okay, well, I don't think I have an Everstone. Okay, I'm gonna need to go get an Everstone then. I will be back once I do. Alright, I got an Everstone. We're going to give that to Kind Person, I believe had the better nature. I should double check that to be sure, though. Okay, no she did not. The better nature was on the Jerk. Kind of surprising. Maybe he's a jerk with a heart of gold, you know? Let's take our Pokemon from the daycare after rejecting whatever eggs Smeepert and Ditto have probably had. Alright, Kind Person, you are going to stay here for a bit. And Jerk, you are also gonna stay here for a bit. We'll raise your Jerk for a while. Got our first egg. We'll see how this looks after it hatches. Saying foster is just reminding me of Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. I never really heard a lot of people talk about it when I was a kid, but that was a cartoon I really liked. I know my mom loved it too. I don't remember much about it these days, but I know I liked it a lot as a kid. I know Tom Kenny voiced Eduardo, I think, which is very funny. Yeah. Good show. If you've never watched it, you should. Wasn't as instrumental to my life as SpongeBob ended up being, but it was very good. It's one that's worth watching. Oh, I do. Oh, also, notable thing, you'll notice all of these eggs are in repeat balls. The Pokeball that your Pokemon are in will be inherited from the mother, which means I still get to have my Skarmory in the ball I wanted it in, because I happened to catch Kind Person in a repeat ball. Saying you caught a Kind Person in a repeat ball sounds kind of creepy, honestly. Maybe I shouldn't be saying that. With Foster and hatching O-Power combined, you can see one of our eggs is already close to hatching. I've been recording for, like, maybe 2 minutes since I got that O-Power, so that's pretty good. Foster, you're not bad, you know? Maybe I'll evolve her one day, just for the fun of it. She deserves it. Foster mothers always deserve the best. They, like, give so much to the world that they don't need to, they choose to. Anyway. Our first egg is hatched. Skarmory, hello. I'm imagining like a little baby Skarmory now. It's so cute. You, my friend, are female. You have Whirlwind and Stealth Rock. You have the correct nature. Keen Eye. I'd prefer Sturdy, so we're gonna hatch these two, see if either of them have a better ability, and yeah, keep going from there. It's kind of exciting getting a team member this way. I really didn't think I was going to get to. I was thinking, oh, it's way more likely that I just encounter a Skarmory with Drill Peck before any of this happens, or I find one with weak armor before any of this happens, and no, I just happened to find one with Stealth Rock and one with Whirlwind as my first two possible egg moves. That's pretty nice. I've wanted to have a, like, team member that I hatched from an egg on a team for a pretty long time, honestly. But Generation 1, there's no eggs that hatch. Fire Red and Leaf Green, you don't unlock breeding until the post-game, and I was also using the same team as Red and Blue. Pokemon White, I don't know, I just didn't think of it back then, because as much as that is a post-reboot Let's Play, it didn't feel like one, you know? That sort of thing. Yeah. Anyway, this is another female Skarmory. Sturdy for the ability, that is the right ability. I want to get a check on this thing's IVs. Okay, ugh. These IVs seem pretty in the middle across the board, but also it's level 1, so there is a lot of potential variance. It looks like special attack and defense are its highest IVs. Defense being high is good. Special attack being high is not, but that's okay. Honestly, I think I'm willing to take the risk with this one. I'm willing to. This is going to be fun. Our main goal is going to be to get this Skarmory up to, I believe, level 26. I guess I should check properly what level it learns this. Just guessing. 28. At level 28, Skarmory is going to learn Spikes, which is another entry hazard we could pair with Stealth Rock and then use Whirlwind to force opponents to switch out. And then Skarmory's last move slot can just be some filler damage move. Overall, I think we could also just replace one of the entry hazards, probably Stealth Rock, with Swords Dance to make our damaging move do more damage, but I do want to keep Whirlwind in at least one entry hazard. Yeah. I thought it would be a little interesting to use a team member like this. Obviously, I would have preferred Weak Armor, but I was just going to go with whichever one I came up with first, and yeah. I like the idea of raising a Pokemon up from literally birth to being a member of the main team. I like that idea, so that's what we're gonna do. And then we'll also get this Skarmory. Our actual Skarmory's brother or sister. And the two lovely parents can go into the box with the gang as well. I think that works. Alright, so I am going to be opening up nickname suggestions for Skarmory the first time for this Let's Play. You can leave your suggestions for a nickname in the comments, the viewer input channel in the Winternet Discord, or on Bluesky, and I'll choose a name based on your suggestions. Just so you know ahead of time, Skarmory is sturdy. It's going to rely on setup strategies, such as using Stealth Rock and Spikes, then Whirlwind or Roar in order to switch opponents out. And it is a mischievous with a jolly nature, so a little bit of a goofball, this guy. Or girl. It is a girl. Yeah, so do with that what you will. I'll be accepting nickname suggestions for however long until the next time I record, possibly, maybe a couple recording sessions from now, but yeah. Until then, feel free to leave your suggestions, and we'll pick from whatever you say in the future. Yeah. It's so exciting. I've never had a team member that I've raised from an egg before. I'm really, I'm actually excited for that. It's maybe going to be a little, like I said, it's probably going to be a little boring to watch this Skarmory in this Let's Play, but you know what? I'll be proud of her no matter what. On top of that, Steven is something of a mentor figure. He gave us Steel Wing. He said it was his favorite move, and it's sort of a signature move for Skarmory. So why don't we teach her that? We're going to teach her it over Peck. Steel Wing will probably be her main damaging move for potentially forever. We'll see. Maybe if she comes up with something that I think is a little better through level up, we'll go with it, but Steel Wing is probably going to be our best bet for a while. Anyway, back to Route 113. Her first battle, a random wild Geodude from Rock Smash. Unfortunately, she is not going to be able to handle that, so I'm going to switch into Manuka and let him play Guardian for her. But it was her first encounter, at least. Skarmory grew to level 2. Skarmory grew to level 3. Skarmory grew to level 4. Nice. Ooh, another idea, actually. We can't give her the experience share, so we're going to have to do switch training, but I am going to give her the metal coat that, I think Jerk was holding? Maybe Kind Person was holding it? One of her parents was holding it. It increased the power of Steel-type moves by 20%, so it'll at least make her Steel Wing a little bit stronger in the meantime while she's waiting to get up to being as strong as everybody else. Okay. Back to Route 113 for real now. Repels aren't actually going to do all that much because our lead is level 4, so... Okay. Hey, maybe she'll be able to get away from this Sandshrew. I have my stylus in my mouth. In case you needed to know that. Okay, she's not taking too much from these Sandshrew at least. Although granted it was only using Swift. I don't think Sandshrew can really do anything to Skarmory outside of Swift right now though. Maybe she shouldn't be in the front of the party here, but it's her home. Come on. I shouldn't spray Repels either though, because they aren't going to be doing anything. Rapid Spin. Yeah, sorry man, this is before Rapid Spin got buffed, so that's not gonna do anything. I should at least not ride my bike, maybe? I don't know. I want to see how much soot I have actually gathered up, at least. I don't know if I'm going to have enough for anything, but I think it's worth checking. We've got a lot of ash. You can make a glass item. Can you make all of the ones on your list? I don't think so. I think you just show me all of them. Sure, let's see. I don't want the blue flute. Okay, this menu sucks. Elegant desk. Okay, not enough ash. We need 7,716, so we probably only have enough to make the blue flute, but I'll try for one of the better flutes. Okay, nope. 716 more grams for that. We can't make the red flute, which means we can't make the yellow flute. We can only make the blue flute. All right, blue flute is probably the most useful one anyway, so I'll take it. All right, blue flute. We can use this to wake up sleeping Pokemon now. Although items in battle are forbidden by my self-imposed rules, so maybe not. Whatever. Here we are. Route 113 to Fall Arbor Town. And now, Fall Arbor Town. All right. So, this town is a little more than a pit stop to many people. This town is little more than a pit stop to many people. But trust me, you're probably going to be coming back here a lot. Next time on Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, we begin exploring Fall Arbor Town. See you guys then.